In today's video, I want to discuss a very important art rule. Now, it's the number one art rule I think that you should break. I want to discuss the use of black. Oh, shit. Because I have heard more times than one from people that I would be surprised to hear this from, that you shouldn't use black in your art because it doesn't occur naturally in the world. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to mix all of your primary colors together and get something as dark as you can. So not completely black, just close to black. Now, I don't think the point of art should always be to replicate nature, to make photographic things. That's not really what art is about to me. But we want to throw that argument aside. So that argument's out the window. You know, we're artists and we only want to paint the things that we see in nature, and that's it. That's all we want to do. So first of all, we have to examine black as we do in the art world. Now, I get this question a lot. Black in the art world is the absence of color, and white is all of the colors. Anything that's really strange, that's really counterintuitive. How the fuck does that make sense? But we have to examine what a color is. A color is light reflected off of an object, and we perceive that object. We perceive the certain colors that we do. Now, black is the absence of color because if you take away that light, what do you have? Blackness. You have nothing there, no white light to reflect off of a surface. So, black is the absence of color. That makes sense. White is all color. Black is nothingness. Black is no color. So considering that, why can we not subjectively examine black as a matter of perspective? So it's like a point where our reality and our perspective meet to create what we know, what we see. Why could you not consider black that point? The point where shadow ends and perspective begins. So thinking about the color philosophically, as we do, we can come up with a reasonable argument that black does occur in nature. It's like the old, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around hear it, does it make a sound? Of course it makes a fucking sound. Just because you physically aren't present to experience it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. My eyes are closed, you can't see me. Just because you don't perceive it in that moment doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, that it's not relevant. That's some self-centered shit. But if you're going to tell that to people who are only interested in a very particular kind of art and don't consider art something that is expressive, that only value it for technique, that only value technique and don't value creativity, then you're probably not going to get far with them because people suck. Now, I tell this to my artistic friends all the time. I have a lot of friends that say, oh, I don't do art because I'm not an artist. I never got good at drawing or painting or anything. To me, art isn't all about being proficient at a particular technical skill. Art is about being creative. And yes, you can hone those technical skills and use them to augment your creativity. But I don't think somebody who is extremely technically proficient necessarily makes good art. I think there are a lot of people out there who are not that, who make amazing art, and they're very creative. You can spend a lot of time, drawing hands or feet or noses or eyes or faces, but if you can't find a way to use them creatively to actually say something, then it just seems to be kind of this this parade, this pandering to your ego, like, hey, look at me, I'm really good at something, look what I can do. But I don't have anything to say about it other than I'm real good at this, look at me. So that is why I think the argument not using black in art is bullshit.